What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Show, back with another video. Now, in case you guys don't know, I got the chance to play Pokemon early. I've been playing Pokemon Scarlet for about 3 or 4 days. I want to talk about my general thoughts of the game. This will not be something that's scripted. This will be something that's strictly coming out the dome, coming from my heart. I want to talk about this game, and I want to let you guys know whether you should buy it or not, because that's a big question. I'm going to talk about some things I kind of don't like, some things I really did like. Generally well received from me. I think the game is really fun. I've been playing it off and on. I've been playing like God of War a lot and Pokemon. So I kind of been not really full diving into Pokemon because I had to buy another copy anyway. So this is just like me to try the game out, test the game out, maybe get a couple Pokemon that I want to collect from the other version. So don't look at this as like a really in-depth, really detailed review is what I'm saying. Alright, so first thing I want to talk about generally is that, for one, I can't show any footage of the gameplay because I'll get a strike, and I don't want that. So you might either see some regular Pokemon gameplay from like Sword or Shield or something, or you might see like just an image. Because to be honest, I don't really want to get striked again, so bear with me on that. If you follow the channel, you know I did actually post gameplay. It got taken down though, so I do actually have the game. But with that introduction being out the way, let's go ahead and get into it for real. So the world itself, I actually do like the world and how it works. I mean, you have like, the main city has like doors you can load through to get to the main world or whatever, and that's cool. I've had no problem with the way that actually works. It feels like one big giant Pokemon city. Like, I feel like this is how Pokemon should have always felt. I mean, obviously there are technical limitations of older systems. They can't really do it like that. Maybe one day I could get a Pokemon with ultra realistic details and stuff, like something on PS3 or Xbox, and give me something really nice to look at. I'm not saying that this is a terrible world, but I mean, you can know what to expect from a Pokemon game at this point. I like all the different areas though. It felt like the more I was gonna run a map, I didn't really feel like I was going in circles. I feel like I was just journeying across the world. You get your mount Pokemon very easily. At the very start of the game, you kind of get that Pokemon you get to ride on, and there's no need for a bike at that point. But to get that Pokemon easy, and I'm gonna definitely stray away from spoilers, so don't worry about that. But that is something we've seen the Pokemon, we've seen how the mountain and stuff works in this game during the trailers, so that's pretty much public knowledge at this point. What I will tell you though, that you do have 3 different storylines like they outlined in a lot of the trailers, but the thing that you want to focus on the most, in my opinion, is the legend storyline. Because the legend storyline allows you more freedom around the map. It gives the mount Pokemon more traversal abilities to get around the map easier. And that's something that you're definitely going to want to do, in my opinion, first. Because doing it opens up the map a lot. I love going around the map, just kind of finding Pokemon everywhere, trying to catch them and stuff. This is one thing I really wish I had like a really detailed version of the game. Only because like when you're dealing with Pokemon in the grass, it can be very little, it can be hard to spot sometimes. I guess it's just kind of how real life Pokemon would be, but just a small caveat on that. One thing that egged me though, if I had to say, one thing I felt like was kind of was that I think in Arceus, there might have been a case if you ran into Pokemon you battle. I can't honestly remember, but it seemed like in this game you run it like when you're trying to run and do obstacles and stuff, and like maybe like traversal around the place, you keep running into a lot of random Pokemon. And to be honest, it makes sense because back in the old days when you would run through the grass, you had to go to the grass to get where you're going, and then you would actually get into random encounters. So I guess that counts as like random encounters. So I'm not gonna sit here and say it's a bad thing. It's just kind of just the same to me. Some Pokemon games decide to just kind of let you avoid the fight if you don't want to fight. This one, it seems like you may run into a lot of little smaller Pokemon in the grass. But I guess, like I said, that's maybe part of the design. The way gyms work in this game, you basically go around and there's different parts of the map where there's gym leaders. And there's another type of leaders in the game that I don't really want to speak on because that might be a little bit more spoilery than knowing that there's gym leaders in the game. I told you guys about the legend storyline, which gives you the traversal abilities, only because they showed a lot of that in the trailer. I don't know how much storyline they showed of the third storyline in the actual trailer, so I won't cover that. Gym leaders are cool. I honestly, I've had like, I'm not gonna say trouble, but I've had sort of a difficulty dealing with at least like 1 or 2 gym leaders. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say which. I mean, by the time you play them, you probably won't have no issue with them, but there were gym leaders that actually wiped my team. I mean, I'm not a Pokemon superstar or nothing, but I know how to play. So that was fun there. The clothing thing, being able to change clothing anywhere out in the field is cool. It's a lot of quality of life because the world is open now, so it's like there's a lot of Pokemon way stations around and stuff. You can basically fly to any Pokemon station. Once you visit a city for the first time, you can basically go and fly there if you want to. So if I'm being honest with you, I suggest that you try to do the Legends quest, try to explore as much as possible, so that when you do the gym badges and you do that storyline, you'll be able to kind of go around and enjoy yourself a lot more. Like, I kind of ran through the Legend storyline, and it got to a point where I finessed my way into winning, to be honest. I really did. It got to a point where the person was like knocking my Pokemon out with one move, and it was getting kind of difficult with that. But through some kind of cheesing mechanics, like by using poison and stuff, I was able to beat that storyline. I really wanted to unlock all the traversal skills, so that was a no-brainer to have to do that. But I thought that was pretty much gonna be the end of it. But the storyline does actually extend from there, so I'm really excited to see where it's gonna go. Like I said, no spoilers from me. But I got gatewayed, man. It got to a point where once I finished that storyline, I just couldn't beat the person's Pokemon that I had to do to continue the storyline. So I'm done with that quest. Now I gotta move on to something else. Yes, you can do everything independently, but there are different like soft blocks that are in the way. Like, yeah, if you don't do the Legends quest, it can be kind of tricky to try to reach certain water areas, or, you know, just some of those areas. So you get kind of gatekeeped by that. You won't be able to reach some of those areas if you don't have the right traversal skill. I do actually like a lot of the new Pokemon designs. I didn't think I was. Like I said, not really gonna spoil anything here. I might put some trailers down, but not gonna spoil anything here. I'm be honest, I really do like some of the new designs of Pokemon. People saying they didn't really like it. I actually love this generation. I really do. I just not realizing that some Pokemon have to be properly traded in order for, you know, them to evolve and stuff, and that's gonna be kind of an issue. Not really when I get my other actual copy, but I've really been loving this gen so far. I like the Pokemon. They look cool to me. Obviously, it's getting to be a little bit more simplistic. That there's definitely Pokemon that resemble like daily life things. Like, there's not such thing, but there's imagine like a bed Pokemon, which I don't know if I haven't encountered one yet, but it might be. But the Pokemon are basically like household objects now, and it's really cool. I'm a real big fan though. If I'm just gonna be honest about it, I'm a real big fan of the game. I'm enjoying it a lot. I think I have about either 20 or 30 hours into it. Like I said, I've been kind of bouncing back and forth, so I don't really have a lot of hours into it. And for me, I'm gonna have to buy I actually have the game. I have to buy the game again to do other stuff. So I'm definitely gonna say it's worth it to me. I feel like any game, if I can exceed like a reasonable amount of time, like if I can pay 60 for a game and get 60 hours out of a game, that's a plus for me. You can't get nothing wrong with $1 per hour of fun. And if it extends that, then it's obviously a better value. Obviously, that's not like the perfect example, because there are games that are shorter that actually give you an amazing experience that may not be worth 60 hours, but it's just amazing. But for me, I play a lot of JRPGs. That's just where I land on that. It's the first Pokemon where I know all of my friends and stuff is going to buy it. They're going to play it. So I definitely want to get right for that. I plan to do a lot of content on this. I'm not gonna lie. I plan to do a lot of content on Pokemon. I plan to do a lot of like videos on Pokemon. This is just kind of my first impressions. I think tomorrow I'm kind of gonna sit down, I'm gonna try to beat the game in its entirety. And, you know, right before Pokemon drops, I'm gonna drop a lot of guides and videos on basically a lot of stuff that deals with this game. Try to get that all together. I'm just gonna take the day to try to really beat everything I can beat. But without spoilers, I can't really discuss too much. So I'm just gonna be done right here. I'm gonna stop right here. I really enjoy this game. I think it's worth $60. Just if you got a big group of friends about to play it, I'm excited to kind of have everybody hop on and being able to do a lot of battles and stuff. That's gonna be cool. But with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video.